if you think that he's been doing things right with Syria, with North Korea, and if he's been putting the priorities in the right place.
It really goes beyond Obama. I mean, it goes back to Bush and even Clinton in North Korea and allowing them to, gain these nuclear weapons. And frankly, we've appeased them. So you're saying that the House Republicans are bringing people, that they're the ones inciting violence, not the protesters?
So they're not inciting violence. They're bringing speakers who don't have a coherent ideology or have productive things to say or do really want to have a conversation because it gets them media attention.
I want to ask you about Obamacare subsidies because President Trump is trying to terminate the insurance subsidies or what he has as bailouts. That's not sabotage, even though that's been the narrative by the media and Democrats, is that it would be sabotage. But there's a CBO report that said that the silver plans would increase by 20% with the better healthcare plan put through. It says that, well, Congress never appropriated the funds for the subsidies. So ultimately, and Paul Ryan had sued the Obama administration and found out that these payments are being made without funds for it.
And that suit is on hold right now, even though we won it at the district court level.
Right.
Yeah.
And the federal judge said that it's unconstitutional,
right.
These payments. Payments are still being made. Nothing has been said about it. Either President Trump halts it or you fund the subsidies.
When you send goods over there, are you sending it to a battalion or are you sending it to individuals?
No, we send it to an individual in the battalion.
Oh, okay.
So what they do is when they receive it, then at mail call or soon after, they distribute the contents of that box to the members that's in their battalion or the squad or group, whatever.
So you really make that personal touch.
Definitely, yeah.
On the 16th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks, the Sergeant Peter F. Colleran Jr. Post 7763 Massapequa Park Veterans of Foreign Wars accepts a flag on behalf of perished Massapequa veterans from the War on Terror.
Now, something that alarmed me and something that I am calling on President Trump to make sure he does is to take care of our veterans. Hopefully, the Trump administration, as promised, puts forth policies that allow veterans to go to any doctor that they wish with as few wait times, really no wait time, as possible. He's got to be tough. At the same regard, I see a little diplomacy in how he's dealing with China and saying, all right, we have a $337 billion trade deficit with China, but you know what? You help us with North Korea because, they control like 93% of their economy and their oil and coal. You deal with that, then, we'll let you keep that $337 billion. Just because someone says something that you don't agree with or they're a provocateur in some way, does that mean that they shouldn't be invited on campus or they shouldn't get...
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, Milo, the Berkeley College Republicans have every right to invite Milo in. I don't think they should.
I was curious as to your views whether or not school choice would be the way forward or whether it is a step in the wrong direction.
No, I'm very in favor of school choice, but a couple of caveats. I don't, in terms of reducing funding for public schools, I'm not sure that's the best way to go, to be honest with you. However, there's a lot of, I don't think we should increase funding. There's a lot of funding that's in public schools, but there's no accountability. So I'd like to see accountability in the classroom, not a heavy reliance on tests and test scores in terms of standardized tests. We have breaking news this afternoon out of Egypt, where a terrorist attack, a radical Islamic terrorist, in 2 different cities in Egypt has left at least 43 dead. That is the death toll count at the moment, and about 100 wounded, according to the Associated Press.
You've had situations of preventable crime, and you have now an activist liberal judge preventing the removal of funding, which is a threat to mayors who do not comply with federal immigration law. And now you're going to have Mayor de Blasio applauding this and laughing.
Wherever I go, the number one story, heroin.
Yeah.
Gangs and heroin. You'd be astounded. I mean, whether you go to North Carolina, whether you go to Minnesota, whether you go to Montana, wherever I've gone, story after story. South Carolina, heroin.
Wow.
Heroin overdoses, crimes committed because of heroin. We're flooded. And one thing I want your audience to understand, we do not manufacture a single gram of heroin inside the United States.
Frankly, if you tax any corporation or anyone at the border, that's going to trickle down to the consumer. And if it's going to be consumer-centric, then you have to have some sort of policy that benefits not only consumers, but also workers, because consumers are workers as well.
Exactly. And so this is where, again, immigration is really a very complex issue, more complex than certainly what's being presented in the media. Immigration policy requires making choices. It requires imposing criteria and establishing procedures.
As far as issues are concerned, millennials here tell me that they are concerned with such issues like women's rights issues and climate change. Meanwhile, Trump supporters and a majority of the overall electorate are concerned with the economy and national security. Reporting from Hofstra University, Neil A. Carousso, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.